Hello there. So today I'm going to be walking you through the student loan calculator worksheet assignment. This was an assignment we did in class on Tuesday, Wednesday, and for some of us Thursday of week 16 of the grading period. So this is where you can find the assignment. It's in the week 16 module in our Canvas course. And when you click on this link, it'll pull up a PDF for you. And this is the worksheet we were working on in class. If you don't have a hard copy of this worksheet or you can't print it, that's okay. You can just write out your answers on a piece of paper and then upload that to Canvas. But you'll want to open up this worksheet so that you have a frame of reference for what it is we're working on and what we're writing down. So have this PDF open in a different tab so that you can reference back to it. So the first thing that you're going to do for this worksheet is you're going to look up a desired career. We're going to go back to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics just like we used for the one-pager. So you will go to bls.gov/OOH or you can just Google Occupational Outlook Handbook. It should be the first link that pops up, and you should get a page that looks a little bit like this. If you are on your phone or on your iPad, it might look a little bit different. It might look like a list of links. But that's fine too. It'll have this list of occupation groups instead of this whole page. So once you're here, you can find the job you're looking for. You'll notice that on here it asks you for your desired career. For the purposes of this activity, you need to pick a career that has at least an associate's degree required for education level. So if I click on Education, Training, and Library, something like these ones that have see how to become one, those usually mean that you need some sort of specialized education, not necessarily a college degree. This one down here says some college or no degree, so that's not a job that I want to click on. That's not one I'm going to use for this activity. I want to look for the ones that say like associates, bachelor's. You could even go for a master's or a PhD, but you want at least an associate's degree. So for this activity, I'm just going to go ahead and click on My Job. So this is what the page looks like once you get to the career page. Feel free to pause the video at any point, by the way, to stop me talking so quickly so that you can catch up to what I'm doing. Feel free to pause it and work at your own pace. So once you get to this page, you can write down your desired career. And then you want to look for the median pay per year and the years of education required. So first things first, the median pay per year, that's going to be right here at the top page. It'll say 2019 median pay. So that's what you're going to write down is this number right here. If it has an hourly wage as well, just ignore that. But you want to write down this annual salary. So that's what I would write down for median pay per year. And then you'll see that the worksheet asks us to divide that number by 12 to get our monthly income, which is something that we'll end up using later on in the activity. So make sure that you do that math. So take whatever your median pay per year is, divide it by 12, your monthly income. Next, you need the years of education required. So here it should say typical entry-level education, and it'll say either like associates, bachelor's, master's, PhD. For the purposes of this activity, we are only going to be looking at undergraduate degrees. So you should only be writing two numbers, one of two numbers here. You're either going to put a 2 if your job only requires an associate degree, or you're going to put a 4 if your job requires a bachelor's, master's, or a PhD. So you should write 2 years for an associate's degree or 4 years for a bachelor's, master's, or PhD. So that's the number that goes right here. So you can go ahead and pause the video right here if you would like to complete this section of the worksheet, and then you can unpause when you're ready to move on to the next section. For the next part of the worksheet, you're going to be looking at a desired college, and you're going to be looking up how much it costs to attend that college. So this can be any college that you want. If you have a college in mind that you would like to attend, you can do that one, or you can do just a local Florida school. You could do SPC. You can do any college that you want. You could do Harvard if you want to. You could put any college here. It doesn't really matter. You're not committing to anything. We're just looking up the math. So For mine, I chose University of Tampa. So that's what I would write for desired college because this is where I went. So to find the cost of tuition and like how much everything costs to attend each school, usually you want to look under something like admissions, and then you can click on, for UT, there's admissions, and then tuition and costs is right here. And then if you scroll down on this page, there's a box right here that has all of my costs. If you don't want to have to go searching for a school, you can use UT. I have the numbers right here for you on the screen, so you can pause the video and use these numbers. This number is the one that you would, highlighted everything. This one is the number that you would use for annual tuition. Down here, this is the number mandatory fees. This is the number that you would write next to annual fees. This is the number, this 11,000 right here is what you would write next to annual living expenses, because this one is for room and board. And then it says average cost of books, and this is the number you would write next to estimated books and supplies cost. So you can go ahead and pause the video and write those numbers down if you're going to use University of Tampa. If you're using your own school and you're having a hard time finding the numbers like this, you could also try Googling the name of that school and cost of attendance. So you could Google like University of Tampa cost of attendance, and it will usually pull up an estimate of how much everything costs at that school. So go ahead and pause the video and write those numbers down. Once you've written those numbers down, you'll see this thing right here that says times number of years required. So what it wants you to do is take whatever number you wrote up here for years of education required, either 2 or 4, and you're going to multiply each of the numbers that you wrote down by 2 or 4. So for example, I would take, for me, I would have a bachelor's degree, so I would put 4 years up here for years of education. So I would take my annual tuition number, I would multiply it by 4, and then I would write it right here. I would take my annual fees, multiply it by 4, and write the answer right here. Same thing for books, and same thing for living expenses. So you're going to end up multiplying all of these numbers by 4 because we want to see how much the school costs and then how much it would cost for you to be there for the entirety of your college education, whether that's 2 years or 4 years. So go ahead and pause the video and do that math for me. Okay, this next part is where things get a little bit tricky, so you might have to pause the video a lot. That's okay. Just make sure that you're following along with each step. I'm going to walk you through it step by step. So you're going to go to studentaid.gov, studentaid.gov, G-O-V, and it should look something like this. This is what the website will look like. This is the Federal Student Aid website. And you're going to click on this tab, Manage Loans, and you're going to find the button that says Loan Simulator. To find this, you can also scroll all the way down to the bottom of the website, and it'll say figure out which repayment plan is best for you, and you can click on the button that says Loan Simulator. So once that page loads, you should have something that looks like this. You want to find the box that says I want to find the best repayment strategy, and you're going to click on or start from scratch. You do not have to log in and make an account. Just click this link that says or start from scratch. For this question, we're going to assume that after you graduate college, you have a job lined up, or that you will very soon. So we're going to click this button that says I have a job or plan to get one soon. That's going to figure into how it calculates our loan payments. So you're going to hit continue. You can skip this step. This step doesn't really matter. They don't need to know where we live. It's a mystery. And for step number 3, this is where you're going to write down that median pay that you wrote down. So whatever your median pay was from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the Occupational Outlook Handbook, that's what you're going to write in this box. So I would put $61,660. That would be my yearly salary. This part you can leave, this 5% expected growth, you can leave that alone. It doesn't really matter. So there's your yearly salary, and then you hit continue. Again, feel free to pause the video at any time so that you can keep up. Once you get to this page, it's going to ask you about where you want to bring in your loan balances. Just click this link right here at the bottom that says enter your loans manually. You're going to click on that. And then you'll have a page that looks something like this. So this is where you're going to add in all of your loans. So you're going to get those numbers from your worksheet where you took and multiplied each of your costs by the number of years you'll be attending. These numbers, whatever you wrote right here next to number of years required, that's what you're going to be inputting for your loans. So let me show you. I'll type in mine so you can see what that looks like. So my tuition at University of Tampa was like $28,000. So what I would end up typing in for my total balance is $28,000 times 4, which is about $115,000. I'm going to leave the direct unsubsidized loan. I'm going to leave the loan type there because that's the most common type of loan, but I am going to change the interest rate to 6%. You should do the same thing. Change the interest rate for each of your loans that you put in to 6%. That is the average interest rate for a loan. So then you hit save and it inputs your loan, and now you see you have a loan balance of $115,000 or however much you just entered. So go ahead and do the same thing for each of your numbers. Once you have all your loans inputted, it'll probably look something like this. You might have less or more loans than me, but you should have, this one is my tuition loan, this is my mandatory fees loan, this is my books and supplies loan, and this is my living expenses loan. And they're all at 6%, they're all direct unsubsidized. So this is something of what it should look like. And once you have all of those numbers inputted, you're going to go ahead and hit continue. For step 5, just hit no for this question. We'll learn about public service loan forgiveness, but you don't need to care about it right now. Our primary repayment goal, we can just hit I don't have a specific goal, click view results. And then you're going to see something like this. You might have to scroll down. It might ask you a question up top. Just scroll down and you should have one result that it gives you. Click this button down here that says view and compare all plans. So to fill out this section of your worksheet, the direct unsubsidized loan for all expenses with standard repayment, you're going to use this box right here, standard repayment. So you've got your monthly payment, the total amount that you'll actually pay, and how long it's going to take you to pay it off. So you don't have to worry about the forgiveness amount right now, just focus on writing down those numbers on your worksheet. Monthly payment, time to pay off, and the total amount to be paid. Here's a math equation for you for the percent of income to pay off loans. What you're going to want to do is take your monthly payment for your loan. You're going to divide it by whatever you wrote down for monthly income. The reason we're doing this math equation is we want to see what percentage of our monthly income would end up going to our loan payment if we hypothetically graduated college with this many student loans. So you want to take your monthly payment number, this number right here, and divide it by whatever you wrote down for your monthly income up here. After you divide it, you're going to multiply that number by 100 to get the percent of income to pay off your loans. So divide your monthly payment number by your monthly income number and then multiply it by 100 to get your percentage for right here. After you fill out that section, you're going to do the same exact thing for that section for this section, the pay as you earn section. So just scroll down in your payment plan options and find the pay as you earn section, which is right here. If you don't have this plan, you can also do one of the graduated repayment plans, but just pick one of those plans and you're going to do the same exact thing. You would write down both of these numbers, the first and last payment number, and then when you get to the percent of income to pay off loans, you would do the same thing that you did up here. You would just end up with two different percentages. You would do that math equation twice. Once you finish that section, you can go ahead and skip this section right here and go to this section. For this section, I am going to post 2 PowerPoint slides for you, 2 screenshots. So take a look at those and you'll be able to fill these out using those PowerPoint slides. They'll be on the same page in Canvas.